And she said, okay, I'll tell them. And like, it was just that easy. But it's because I was willing to have that conversation with her, and I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to go in any room. We invite ourselves to every single room we can. Y'all tell me the rooms to go in that you don't want to go in, and I promise you I'll go. Because I think that right now we are so divided, and I'm on a singular mission to bring us back to the table together. I'm not trying to convince people to be Democrats. I'm not trying to convince them on ideological things at all. What I'm trying to do is make sure that our democracy is safe. Because it's sacred. And we all agree on that. And I've yet to go in a room. Steve's about to release an op-ed about this that made me cry the other night at dinner. Because when we leave these rooms and you think, oh, it's going to be so hard. But when we leave, we've yet to be treated any differently. They open the door wholeheartedly, and by the time we leave, we are hugging necks and trading recipes. And most people in Arkansas want to come back together. There are groups on both sides who refuse. I'm not talking to them, I'm talking to the 90% of the rest of us who don't want the chaos. And one of my missions in this race and in this job is to make sure we learn how to talk to each other again and to hold people accountable for it. Y'all are gonna see I made a post on Friday because our governor is saying bad things about Arkansas, and she's saying people are crazy. And that's just not true. That's not true. Let's talk about issues. I'll argue all day long about issues. Let's debate. Let's disagree. Because I believe when people come together who have differing ideas, then we come out the other side with something even better.
That's right.
And right now, everybody's just in their echo chambers, and we're never gonna move forward as Arkansas. And we are allowing the narrative to be taken over by people who want to poison it. I'm not gonna have it. I say this all the time. I refuse to let them take my patriotism and my flag. I refuse to let them take my Jesus, and I refuse to let them take my voice. I'm not gonna have it. I'm also not gonna let them take my Democrat name. I am a proud Democrat. Yes, sir.
I'm from Rogers, Arkansas, and Steve and Kelly were at a meeting Friday morning, and she repeated somewhat the same words. We need to bring people together. We need to talk across party lines. And I said, okay, I heard that you're going to be up here in Bella Vista, and I said, I'm going to go. And not only did I go, but I brought Steve a check, which I assumed.
Thank you. And I do need donations, but what I'll tell you here is that you guys have infrastructure and you have work plans. And so if you only have a limited amount to give, I also want you to give to the Democrat Party. I don't know if you all collect money in this organization, but you're organizing locally, and the work you do locally is every bit as important as the money that comes into my account. I still want your money. I need your money. And we're using our money in very different ways. It's almost all on Airbnbs and mileage. You'll see all that. I was telling somebody earlier, you know, most of the events we have, we get done about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. And no restaurants are open in any of these little towns that late. And so we eat a lot of chicken fingers at 7-Eleven. You can see that on my ethics report.
No.
And we're spending it on materials. We're trying to do our materials differently. When I went to the Pink Tomato Festival, I gave, at the parade, we threw out pink tomato push balls. Because what happens is you show up at these parades, you wear the t-shirt, and they see you for 5 minutes and then they forget you. But if they have a pink tomato on their counter that says Kelly Grappe, when they go to the poll in November, they're going to remember me. I have a marketing background. And so, you know, these Frisbees were our 4th of July handout for the kids at the parade. They all have those Frisbees. They're also great fans.
You were our fans last night when we could not keep up.
I've got, I have peach rings that we're giving out at the Peach Festival this weekend in Johnson County. We've got, watermelon fans, they're like a watermelon slice for the watermelon festivals we have coming up. And so we're trying to just do it differently, because we gotta get in people's living rooms, we gotta get in people's kitchens, we gotta get in people's churches. And so when I come back, we don't do a typical drop-in campaign method. That's not what you'll see from me. We immerse. And so we'll come 3-4 days, and we will spend time. If y'all let us know where all the guys meet for coffee on Friday morning, we will go have coffee there. And I promise you, they'll know who I am before I leave. And we're doing that everywhere. Every restaurant, every store. If there's a lot of people, we're gonna go hang out at the square in Bentonville, because wearing the shirt around, we've gotten so much positive response from the shirt. So we've got plenty of these. If you want one, get one. They cost us about $12. We charge people about $20 if they want it, if they say how much, but we also want you to take them. Like, don't ever let the money, because that's why I'm raising money, is to give that stuff away. I never want somebody to not have something in their hand if they can use it. So, that's how we're spending it. But, you know, our state motto is Regnant Populus. And it is everywhere on all my campaign stuff. And it was our state motto before we were a state, if that even makes sense. But if you go back, that we were talking about Regnant Populus. It's Latin, it means the people rule. And it was here before we became us. It is who we are. The people are in charge here in Arkansas.
Not right now.
Yeah. There are 3 branches in our government technically, but in Arkansas we actually have a 4th branch. And it's the people. And it is time, y'all. We have got to take our government back. So I'm gonna be honored to do this. I'm so excited to be part of it. I'm so excited to work here in Benton County. This is such a great place. Y'all live in such a great place. I mean, this is like God's country here. And so I'm excited to get to spend time with you, but I need y'all to be hands and feet, because I am working full time and we do have a lot of ground to cover. And so please spread the word, talk to your friends, help us make people know how important this election is, because we've never had an election that's this important. I know they probably say that every time, but I truly believe it. I wasn't gonna run for office. Politics was not what I was planning to do with my life. My husband's the politician. He's the one out there doing all the stuff. But last summer, when Trump started talking about restricting our elections, and especially around restricting women's rights with voting in the SAVE Act and all the things, I looked at Steve one afternoon and I was like, we gotta do something. We gotta do something. And I decided I was gonna run for lieutenant governor, because that's a part-time job. I could keep my job. Great. And then when Sarah Huckabee Sanders goes and does something else, I'd be there to step in. And I called a friend and mentor, some of you may know her, Johnny Roebuck is our Democratic National Committee chairwoman she represents Arkansas nationally. And she was a former legislator, her husband was as well, and just a great mentor of mine. And I called her and I said, Johnny, I'm gonna run for lieutenant governor. And she laughed at me. And she said, Kelly, she knows me. She said, Kelly, that is not your job. That is just not the job that you're gonna love, because you like to get your hands in there. You like to do the work. And she said, you need to go see about Secretary of State. And so I started studying that afternoon. And I studied this job deeply. And as I studied, Steve was behind me sitting at his desk, and I was on the couch. And about every 15 minutes, I'd go, oh my God, did you know this is what the Secretary of State does? Like, I have that experience. Like, I know how to do that. And by the time I got through that process, I was like, this is my job. This is the job I want. I'm not running to put my name on the ticket to give the Democrats something to vote for. That's not why I'm doing this. I truly believe this job was built for me. And so I'm so ready to go do it, and I just can't wait to do that alongside you. So thank you, thank you, thank you.